Welcome back to the Daily Morning Business Feeds on Cove Markets, with me as editor Olivia. Today, let's take a look at some notable business news in the past 24 hours. Thank you for always supporting and accompanying us. Come to the following hot news. Massachusetts tax-free weekend starts Saturday. Here's what to know. Authorities identify suspect who attacked author Salman Rushdie at Western New York event. Tesla Model 3 long-range stops taking orders online. Available again in 2023? Peloton slashing 780 jobs, closing stores and hiking prices in push to turn profit. Massachusetts tax-free weekend starts Saturday. Here's what to know. All the prices have gone up. This is the perfect time to hoard everything that you need to buy right now, excited shopper Ako Diabakate said Friday. Tax-free weekend is bigger than Black Friday at Tadpole, a South End baby store. Manager Olga Villegas said shoppers rush in for big savings on big-ticket items, like car seats and strollers. We try to target our customers and let them know and remind them that this is the weekend to save, she said. Here are the specifics. The weekend-long tax holiday lets buyers skip the usual 6.25% sales tax on retail items for personal use that cost up to $2,500. Other exceptions include food, alcohol, tobacco products, marijuana, vehicles, including motorboats, and gas and other utilities. And purchases by businesses, or by individuals for business use, remain taxable. John Hurst, president of the Retailers Association of Massachusetts, was optimistic that many shoppers will be taking advantage, since there's no longer a supply chain shortage and inventory is up. I think this is going to be a robust weekend, one of the best sales tax holidays we've had for a while, simply because the consumer is going to have more to choose from this year than what they did last year, he said. That could mean stores offering bigger discounts to get people in the door. As consumers get a little more cautious worrying about inflation, worrying about impending recession, you're going to see a lot of discounts, Hurst said. Back-to-school items are a popular buy this time of year, along with technology and clothing, he said. Authorities identify suspect who attacked author Salman Rushdie at Western New York event. Salman Rushdie, a celebrated author and winner of the world's top literary prizes whose writings generated death threats, was attacked and stabbed at least twice on stage Friday before a lecture he was scheduled to give at the Chautauqua Institution in Western New York, state police said. Rushdie was on a ventilator Friday evening and could not speak, his agent, Andrew Wiley, told the New York Times. Salman will likely lose one eye. The nerves in his arm were severed, and his liver was stabbed and damaged, Wiley told the Times. The news is not good. The suspect was identified as Hadi Matar, 24, from Fairview, New Jersey, State Police Troop Commander Major Eugene J. Stanishevsky said in a Friday evening news conference. Police are working with the FBI and local authorities to determine the motive. Authorities are also working to obtain search warrants for several items found at the scene, including a backpack and electronic devices, Stanishevsky said. Authorities believe the suspect was alone but are investigating to make sure that was the case, Stanishevsky added. The suspect jumped onto the stage and stabbed Rushdie at least once in the neck and at least once in the abdomen, state police said. Staff and audience members rushed the suspect and put him on the ground before a state trooper took the attacker into custody, police said. Rushdie was airlifted from a field adjacent to the venue, in a rural lake resort about 70 miles south of Buffalo, to a hospital. Rushdie was undergoing surgery at a hospital in northwestern Pennsylvania, Erie Police Department Deputy Chief William Marucci told CNN Friday evening. Henry Reese, co-founder of the Pittsburgh nonprofit City of Asylum, who was scheduled to join Rushdie in discussion, was taken to a hospital and treated for a facial injury and released, state police said. The organization was founded to provide sanctuary in Pittsburgh to writers exiled under threat of persecution, according to the Chautauqua Institution's website. Authorities are working with the district attorney's office to determine what the charges for the suspect will be. Once we get a little further in the investigation and determine the condition of Mr. Rushdie, Stanishevsky said. Meanwhile, police in Fairview blocked off the street of a home believed to be connected to the suspect and were not allowing anyone, including residents of the street, in or out of the area. Residents were later allowed to enter and exit, but local police remained stationed outside the home. At least 2 plainclothes law enforcement officers and 2 Fairview officers were seen leaving the driveway of the home. What witnesses say happened. Rushdie was being introduced at about 10:45 a.m. when the assault happened, according to a witness, who said he heard shouting from the audience. He said a man in a black shirt appeared to be punching the author. The witness, who was 75 feet from the stage, did not hear the attacker say anything or see a weapon. Some people in the audience ran to render aid while others went after the attacker, the witness said. State police said a doctor who was in the audience during the event rendered aid to Rushdie until emergency responders arrived. New York Governor Kathy Hochul told reporters Friday a state trooper stood up and saved Rushdie's life and protected him, as well as the moderator who was attacked as well. Here is an individual who has spent decades speaking truth to power, the governor said of Rushdie. Someone who has been out there unafraid, despite the threats that have followed him his entire adult life, it seems. Tesla Model 3 long-range stops taking orders online. Available again in 2023? Tesla Model 3 Long Range, one of the best-selling vehicles of the Elon Musk-owned electric vehicle, EV, maker, is no longer available, its online listing reveals. On the other hand, the two Model 3 sedan options, such as the standard and performance variants, are still available on the online configurator page of the all-electric automaker. The Tesla website further estimated when the Model 3 Long Range would be available to take orders again. Tesla Model 3 Long Range orders halted. As per the latest news story by Electrek, Tesla quietly stopped taking new orders for its Model 3 Long Range, which has become increasingly popular in the US and other countries like Canada. And as such, if you are looking to get your hands on the long-range variant of the sought-after Tesla electric sedan, you might need to wait a little longer. While it is easily possible to purchase one in the used market, getting it straight from the renowned EV maker goes otherwise. It comes as the online configurator of Tesla confirms that it would take several months before the Model 3 Long Range would be available for orders. When will Tesla Model 3 Long Range be available again? Electrek notes in the same story that the US configurator of the EV maker still lists the long-range variant. However, the option has been grayed out, preventing customers from selecting it. Despite that, the configuration of the car maker assured its visitors that it would be available again soon. Below the now grayed-out Tesla Model 3 long-range option, the website notes that it would be available by next year or in 2023. It is worth noting that both the configurators of the Musk-led automaker in the US and Canada no longer take new orders for the Model 3 sedan. But why has it come to this? Peloton slashing 780 jobs, closing stores and hiking prices in push to turn profit. Key points. Peloton told employees it is slashing roughly 780 jobs, closing a significant number of its stores and hiking prices on some equipment. The company didn't specify how many of its 86 retail locations it plans to shutter. It said it will exit last-mile logistics, close its remaining warehouses and shift delivery work to third-party providers. Peloton told employees Friday that it is slashing roughly 780 jobs, closing a significant number of its retail stores and hiking prices on some equipment in a bid to cut costs and become profitable. The company did not specify how many of its 86 retail locations it plans to shutter, but said an aggressive reduction will begin in 2023. The pace of closures will depend on how quickly Peloton can negotiate getting out of leases. Peloton said it will exit last-mile logistics by closing its remaining warehouses and shift delivery work to third-party providers, resulting in a portion of the job cuts. It is also cutting a number of positions in its in-house support team, which are mainly located in Tempe, Arizona, and Plano, Texas, and instead will rely on third parties. The sweeping changes are part of recently installed Chief Executive Officer Barry McCarthy's plan to steer the connected fitness equipment maker in a new direction. Peloton's business boomed to unthinkable highs after the onset of the COVID pandemic, sending shares surging alongside other so-called stay-at-home stocks like Zoom. But under then CEO and Peloton founder John Foley, demand began to slow almost as quickly as it shot up, as people started going out again. McCarthy's biggest tasks now include getting rid of fixed costs and finding more ways to cash in on its loyal base of customers. The shift of our final mile delivery to 3PLs will reduce our per-product delivery costs by up to 50% and will enable us to meet our delivery commitments in the most cost-efficient way possible, McCarthy wrote in a memo to employees seen by CNBC. These expanded partnerships mean we can ensure we have the ability to scale up and down as volume fluctuates, he added. Peloton, which had just lowered the prices for its products earlier this year, is raising the price of its Bike Plus by $500 to $2,495 in the United States. The price of its tread machine is going up by $800 to $3,495. The price of Peloton's original bike and its strength training product known as Guide will remain unchanged. McCarthy acknowledged the about-face on pricing, saying that the equipment price reductions made sense for the company back in April, as Peloton tried to get rid of inventory quickly. Investors sent Peloton shares up 13.6% on Friday. The stock has tumbled more than 60% so far this year, with the company's share price hitting an all-time low of $8.22 in mid-July. Shares had traded as high as $120.62 apiece roughly a year ago. Under McCarthy, who took the reins from Foley in February, the business has focused on ways to grow subscription revenue over hardware sales. Earlier this year, for example, Peloton raised the price of its all-access subscription plan in the United States to $44 per month from $39. In July, Peloton had also announced it would stop all its in-house manufacturing and instead expand its relationship with Taiwanese manufacturer Rexon Industrial. That resulted in about 570 job cuts. The company also suspended operations at its Tonic Fitness facility, which it acquired in 2019, through the remainder of the year. When McCarthy became CEO, Peloton announced it was slashing roughly $800 million in annual costs. That included cutting 2,800 jobs, or about 20% of corporate positions. The company also said it would be walking away from plans to build a sprawling production facility in Ohio. CNBC reported in January, ahead of Foley stepping down, that Peloton planned to temporarily halt production of its equipment, according to internal documents detailing those plans, as a way to control costs with demand dropping. Foley's missteps included making long-term bets on Peloton's supply chain during the peak of the coronavirus pandemic that would later prove to be a drag on its business as sales of its bikes and tread machines slowed. Peloton's losses in the three-month period ended March 31 widened to $757.1 million from $8.6 million a year earlier. Revenue dropped to $964.3 million from $1.26 billion. The company ended the quarter with 2.96 million connected fitness subscribers, which are people who own one of the company's products and pay for a membership to its live and on-demand workout classes. "We have to make our revenue stop shrinking and start growing again," McCarthy, a former Spotify and Netflix executive, said in Friday's memo. "Cash is oxygen. Oxygen is life." McCarthy said the company is continuing to hire in certain areas, including software and engineering. "I share this so you won't think we're driving with our foot on the gas and the brake at the same time," he said. McCarthy is also asking all of Peloton's office-based employees to return to the office 3 days per week starting on September 6. As of November 14, that will be considered mandatory, he said. Peloton is expected to report its fiscal fourth quarter results on August 25. And those are also the most outstanding news that closes daily feeds. Thank you to everyone for listening and following Cove Market channel. If you find the video interesting and useful, please click like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the latest business news.